Hi there. In this video, you're going to learn how to solve more two-step equations. So first off, I'm going to show you a problem where you have almost like distributive property here. So here you have a 2 parentheses w plus 36 equals 144. Now, something that you might not realize is there are actually two factors here. There is the number 2, and there is this right here, w plus 36. Because you're multiplying the two factors, first you can actually end up dividing the two. So let's just take another look again. Our two factors here are, in this example, are p and x plus q. So whenever you have a problem that's set up like this, or like this, you need to realize that there are two factors. So here's an example of a problem like that. We have 3 times x plus 5 is equal to 45. The first thing that we're going to do here, we can actually distribute this 3 and then solve, but it'll actually be easier if we do the division property of equality first. So what that means is we have a 3 times x plus 5 equals 45. If we divide by 3 on both sides, we can actually get rid of this 3 here. So that's what I'm going to do. If I divide 3 on both sides, I get rid of these 3's on the left. And then I'm left with x plus 5 is equal to 15, because 45 divided by 3 gets me 15. Now I can go through and solve this. So I would subtract 5 on both sides, and then I would get x to equal 10. And then I would just check my work. This part is all the same as what we learned earlier. The only thing that changes is this. So again, you can distribute if you want, but this right here is actually a little bit faster. Let's try here. I have 5 parentheses n minus 2 equals negative 30. Same thing. I have a 5, this is one factor, and I have this n minus 2, the second factor. So the first thing I could do with this is actually divide both sides by 5. If I divide both sides by 5, that allows me to cancel these out, these 5's, and then I'm left with n minus 2 on my left, and then negative 30 divided by 5 is negative 6. Then you add 2 on both sides, just like you normally would, and negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. And then you just check your work. Okay, here's an example with a fraction. So rather than dividing by 2/3 on both sides, like we already learned, dividing by a fraction is the same thing as multiplying by its reciprocal, right? So that's what I'm going to do instead, to cancel out this fraction, because that's actually a little bit easier than distributing the 2/3. Then you're going to be left with 2/3 and plus 4 is equal to 10. So this will be a little bit easier. So first we're going to, instead of dividing both sides by 2/3, we're going to multiply by 3/2. That allows me to cancel this fraction out. So this fraction ends up getting canceled out, right? And then I'm left with, whoops. Sorry about that. Then I'm left with n plus 6 on this side, plus whatever 10 times 3/2 is. 10 times 3/2 is 15, because 10 times 3 is 30, divided by 2 gets me 15. So if I have n plus 6 equals 15, just subtract 6 from both sides, and then you get your n to be 9. So then you just check your work. So here we have a decimal. So what property of equality will first undo this? Again, just divide both sides by 0.2. So that's what we're going to do here. Divide both sides by 0.2. 0.2 and 0.2 cancel out, right? Because 0.2 over 0.2 is just equal to 1. I'm left with c minus 3 is equal to negative 50. Add 3 on both sides, and you should get c to equal negative 47. And then you just check your work. Now, if you would rather not do all that and you would rather distribute, Distributing takes a little bit longer, but I'm going to show you it anyway. So if you have 6y plus 4 equals negative 15, if you distribute that 6, you get 6y plus 24 is equal to negative 15. Now you subtract 24 on both sides, and you should end up being left with, on this side, 6y is equal to negative 39. From there, you do your division property of equality. Just divide both sides by 6, and you should just get y to equal negative 6.5. So some concluding thoughts. You can solve some two-step equations by looking to see if there are two factors first. If there are, then use a division property of equality to cancel out one of the factors. If one of the factors is a fraction, rather than divide both sides by the fraction, multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Okay, I hope you learned how to solve more two-step equations. Thank you for watching.